Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah. Today I'm going to give you some idea of how we can reflect and think about the grandeur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and see how insignificant we are from the perspective of the physical universe. We are not talking how insignificant we are from the perspective of the spiritual realm, which we do not know. It is the realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the knowledge thereof is only limited. We are not given that knowledge. But even in the knowledge of understanding the universe, the physical universe that we cannot see is sextillion times, billions and billions and billions of times, which is infinite. And so when we compare ourselves to the infinite universe, this earth is not even a subatomic particle. The quark, the smallest waveform, we are not even that. That's why those scholars with insight, that Allah gave them this inner knowing, says we are nothing. So don't be boastful that you have $1 billion, or you have private jets or Ferraris or private yachts and all that, and you waste your money on partying, on whatever that you want to do, the evil things that you want to do. So it is nothing. You end up like one of the greatest criminal, Fir'aun, drowned in the sea, or Karun, alright, drowned in the earth. So it is not something that, if we are going to aspire the aspects of life, we have to do the contemplation, tafakur and murakabah every day of our life. Then we seek a balance so that we have the goodness of this world. Each time we say in our dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Oh Allah, give us the goodness of this world and the goodness of the hereafter, and protect us from the torment of hellfire, which is reserved for those who are transgressors, those people who just have this physical realm as the be all and end all. They will end up being the greatest loser ever, which is mentioned in the Quran many times. They are the losers, they are the losers, they are losers. Who are the winners? Believers are going to be the winners, because if we know our position vis-a-vis the Creator, we are a creature of nothingness. So I want to give you some. Even Al-Imam Ghazali says, if you are going to reflect, you can close your eyes, all right, and think about what you have done today. Or if you see a beautiful sight, you see a beautiful sunrise or a sunset, or you see the beautiful stars in the cosmic realm, you close your eyes, reflect, and think about the grandeur of Allah. Not to think of the Zat of the Creator, but the attributes, His attributes of grandeur, His attributes of beauty, His attributes of love, His attributes of mercy, His attributes of compassion, His attributes of creativity, and so on. You cannot end thinking, reflecting, and having a greater insight of the purpose and meaning in life. And inshallah, through this, you will then have from Iman Ainul Yaqeen, you rise up to Iman Haqqul Yaqeen. This is the haqq that you understand to the deepest core of your being. So inshallah, I'm going to teach you some of the practices which a lot of our Muslim brothers and sisters do it. Some of them are in the, for example, in the tasawwuf field, but I'm not trying to glamorize that area where there's tasawwuf, but the whole idea of adab, the whole idea of tasawwuf, the whole idea of ihsan, the whole idea of murakabah, tafakur, and reflection is part and parcel of the nature of our being. Without that, we are just thinking of the physical thing. Eat, sleeps, nothing. But from this perspective, you enhance your realization of the grandeur of God. Then you enhance your knowledge, and you seek more and more and more knowledge. So Muslims then must be on the forefront. When they study the night sky, then they are going to be the most foremost cosmologists on earth today. We were the foremost cosmologists 800 years ago. You name all the stars in the visible universe that you can see. 90% of the name of the stars are in Arabic. So our great forefathers developed algebra, developed cosmology, developed what they call it, how to find position vis-a-vis us, the cosmic map. All these done were by Muslim cosmologists, scholars, thinkers, mathematicians. Sadly to say, where are we now? It is the non-Muslims who are doing it, but we can take their knowledge and then leapfrog and realize that our purpose in life is to realize the grandeur of Allah, and our purpose in life is to seek knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge until we realize we have Iman Ainul Yaqeen and Iman Haqqul Yaqeen. So that is my message, because I'm very limited in my knowledge. I'm recording this, inshallah, for those millennials and this, Gen Z. If you are a mathematician, please be the best mathematician on earth. If you are cosmologist or astrophysicist, be the best astrophysicist and bring this idea of the grandeur of Allah into your sciences, and you will never be disappointed, inshallah. So how are we going to go about with this exercise in contemplation? For example, there are many ways. When you look at the night sky in a rural area, for example, you go to in the middle of the desert, or you go to places where there is no cloud, for example, by the beachfront. For example, in the tropics, it's a bit difficult, but still, when I go out to the rural areas on a cloudless day, so beautiful, so immense. You see the grandeur of the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I mentioned in the previous video. Then you look and reflect about the grandeur of creation. You can do calm breathing, close your eyes, and then sit down in a quiet place, and then reflect for 5 or 10 minutes of what you have seen. You also can see many things, not only the clear sky. Sometimes you see the sunset, sometimes you see the sunrise, sometimes you see the birds singing on a tree. I used to see the birds singing, and the birds are singing to me, and I'm doing my zikr, and the birds sing more loudly and more beautifully, and 2 or 3 birds came. Subhanallah. And what do I say? Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. So we relate to the beauty that Allah has endowed upon us, and we connect ourselves to this earth, and we will then be able to connect ourselves with Allah, because those who know themselves and know this dunya would know Allah. So we must, Allah has told us, we look into ourselves and look to the highest horizon on this existence of this, I mean the cosmos, the visible universe, the physical universe that's invisible, that's 6 trillion times bigger than we ever imagined. That we are not even a dot, we are not even an atom, we are not even a sub-atomic particle, and what we are, just an illusion, just a little drop in the ocean of the mercy and the love of Allah. If we understand that, then we reconnect ourselves to Allah. Through this reflection, inshallah, we will be able to achieve a greater understanding of our meaning and purpose in life. So you can do that, and then we can recite the Quran. I always recite the Quran whenever I see something grander, something good. When I see the beautiful sunrise, or I see the beautiful clouds before it rain, it roll over the hills. What do I say? I just sit down, reflect. I say, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard wa ihtilafil layli wan nahar la ayatin li ulil albab alladhina yazkuruna Allaha qiyaman wa qu'udan wa ala junubihim wa tafakkaruna fi khalqis samawati wal ard Rabbana ma khalaqtana hadha batila subhanaka fakina azaban nar. So you see that, then you close your eyes for a moment, seek divine forgiveness for all forgiveness, because Allah is the one who gives us this knowledge. Seek for His grace, compassion and love, and reflect over life. Alright? Another alternative is that we can sit in your room or in a park or a seaside. Open your YouTube. Now there are many YouTube showing you this whole phenomena. So you may not be connected to the cosmic sky, but you can see your cosmic sky in YouTube. Alright? Then you do step 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do it every day and see this beautiful natural phenomena. So when you connect to this beautiful natural phenomena, then you'll be a very positive feelings, thoughts and ideas. The FET cycle, which I've mentioned to you, that is very important in Islamic psychology, and then you'll be able to understand how to go about with it. So I just beautiful natural phenomena, not only about the universe, the singing of the birds, the flipping of the butterflies, the industrialness of the ants, the beautiful paddy fields, the fishes in the ocean, all and everything that you see, you say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. And before you reflect, you read that Quranic verse, and then think about how you can positively contribute to the development of this ummah. So how to do this? For example, as I say, it's so easy, you can do it. I'm just doing it. For example, if I'm sitting, all right, and I have my YouTube, or I'm in the rural area, I'll just sit down, all right, and then calm breathing calmly, all right. How is calm breathing? We breathe in 5 and let go 5, or breathe in 5, hold 2 and let go. You find your own pace, where you calm. Don't try to force a thing. Just close your eyes and then quietly in your heart read the Quranic verse. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard bismillahir rahmanir rahim a'udzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim. You just quietly say in your heart, and then when you see the night sky, because you have seen the night sky already, you reflect of who you are. What is my position in this earth? What is the purpose and meaning of my life? Where am I going to after I die? What are the things that I can do on this earth to satisfy and to receive the grace, mercy and love of Allah? And so many things. So you can look at many perspectives as you reflect. Just take one perspective each time, and then slowly open your eyes and do it. If you are in your room, I do it in my room. I just open YouTube, or sometimes I don't even open the YouTube. I have opened this YouTube so many times that when I close my eyes, I see this whole grandeur. And inshallah, as you do that, you will increase your iman and increase your understanding that Allah is the absolute creator. Then you will then free yourself from atheism, some secularism, from gross materialism, from the hedonistic lifestyle, to a contemplative, wonderful Islamic way of life based on iman, based on ibadah, based on knowledge, which gives us a beautiful life of peace, happiness, tranquility, and love of Allah and the love of His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all the ahli baik, tabi'in, all the great imams that brought this beautiful deen to us. And we appreciate so much that inshallah we would then lead a life of goodness.